friends, welcome back to my channel, where today I am going to be sharing some recipes from the Body Coach Graduate Plan Cycle 5. Bit of a backstory in case you didn't know. In 2018 I did the Body Coach 90-day plan and really enjoyed it, and then when we went into lockdown earlier on in the year I decided to do the graduate plan to keep me on track, and the gyms were closed, so I did a few of the workouts at home and things like that. I did do a review of the graduate plan cycle 4, so in case you missed it I will leave that down below. But today I'm going to be sharing breakfast, lunch, dinner and snack recipes from the graduate plan cycle 5, so I hope you enjoy it and get some recipe inspiration. And if, like me, you completed the 90-day plan and you're not sure whether to go for the graduate plan, this will show you some of the recipes that are available so you can decide whether you would like to purchase it. Before we get into the food, if you're wondering about the training, it is still a mix of like high intensity body weight stuff and also incorporates some resistance training. It's not a gym plan, it is something you can just do at home if you are maybe in a lockdown situation currently where you aren't able to go to the gym. So you got the usual things, press ups, burpees, but then things like squats with dumbbells, walking lunges, etc. So without further ado, let's get straight into breakfast. Okay my friends, it is breakfast and this is going to be my pre-workout breakfast because I am off to the gym for glutes and hamstrings today. So for breakfast we are having coconut porridge with raspberries and almonds. In terms of ingredients, we need some rolled oats. I like the Tesco's organic oats, they're my favourite. We need some flaxseed, we need some chia seeds, some vanilla protein powder, which I definitely need to top up, and it asked for tinned coconut milk and I just thought it just sounds a bit too like rich and sickly for breakfast. So instead I picked up this cocoa unsweetened coconut milk. It's got no added sugar, so I'm going to be adding normal coconut milk rather than tinned coconut milk, but you do you. If you want to add coconut milk, you're more than welcome. That's what it asks for in the recipe. Then we need some yogurt, we need some raspberries, and last but not least we need some flaked almonds. So I've got my weighing scales and I've got my bowl. I'm going to add the ingredients into the bowl and then it says to add them to a pan to simmer. So let's do that now. Steamy. So it says to simmer the porridge for 5 minutes on a low heat, and I do advise that just because you've put the protein powder in it, and sometimes if you have the heat on too high your protein powder sort of splits and goes really horrible and grainy. So I have cooked the porridge for 5 minutes. I'm just gonna pop it into a bowl. Tastes good so far. And then it says to stir in a tablespoon of yogurt. I have got this Skyr Icelandic yogurt. It's really high in protein, so I always opt for this one. So I'm just going to pop in a tablespoon of yogurt. I'm going to add some raspberries on top, and then we're going to add some flaked almonds. Okay, and here is my coconut raspberry almond porridge. I'll do a close-up for you guys. It's a really good breakfast. It should keep us nice and full. It's got a good balance of carbs, fats and the protein. I'm going to go and enjoy this before the gym. I'll give you a little bit of a taste test. It's very thick. You could add a bit more water or milk if you wanted to loosen it. It's actually pretty good. If you like super creamy coconutty porridge, I do advise using the tinned coconut milk, but this is perfect for breakfast. I think for me the tinned coconut milk might have been a bit too heavy for my first meal of the day, but this is good. So I'm going to go and demolish this and then I'll see you guys for lunch. So it's me again and I am back from the gym, and typically with the Body Coach plan you're supposed to have your sort of higher carb meal post workout, But I don't know about anybody else. I just prefer to save my high carb meal for my like evening meal so that I don't go to bed hungry. So we're going to ignore that, and I am going to make spicy baked eggs with ham. Ingredients: we are going to need a red onion. I've only got a white onion. I'm sure it will work the same. A red pepper. I'm just going to use these frozen mixed peppers that I've got. You also need some smoked paprika, 2 eggs, tomato paste, some tinned chopped tomatoes, Parma ham. So excited for this. It says Parmesan, but I eat this high protein cheese, so I'm just going to use this. And it says 20 grams of Parmesan, but it means I can have a bit more of this because it is 90% less fat and 40% more protein than normal cheddar. So I'm going to be using this cheese today. I'll be honest, I'm not actually crazy hungry. That breakfast really did fill me up. But I'm going food shopping, and nobody should ever go food shopping hungry. And this does take a little bit longer to make because it needs to be baked in the oven. So it's kind of like a shakshuka where you crack the eggs in, you pop it in the oven, and then you let the eggs bake. So we're going for like a shakshuka kind of vibe. And what I need to do first is start frying up like the onion and the peppers and things like that just on the hob before the mixture then goes in the oven with the cracked raw eggs, and then the eggs will bake in the dish. Okay, so my tomatoey mixture is cooked. I did add garlic and mixed herbs because when I saw a tomato based dish and there's no garlic and mixed herbs in it, I was a bit like, I feel like they need adding. So I have added some garlic and I've added some herbs to the mix, but this mix is done. Now, if you've got an oven proof pan, you can just put this straight in the oven, but unfortunately this isn't oven proof, which is why I'm having to use a dish. The next part of the recipe says to spoon the mixture into the dish to make 2 wells. That's where you're going to crack your eggs in, and then it's going to go into the oven with the Parmesan for 10 minutes. But I think I'm going to go a bit rogue. You're supposed to crisp your Parma ham separately, so I guess so you get like a crispy bacon effect on the side. But I think I'm going to try and make a Parma ham well, crack my egg in that and see what happens. Could be an epic fail. You could be about to witness an epic fail, but I'm going to give it a go. Okay, so here's my dish, and I'm going to spoon my mixture in. Probably could have done with a shallower dish, to be honest, but this is what we're working with. I'm going to smooth that out, and then I think what I'm going to do is get my slice of Parma ham, and I'm going to put that across like so. So 3 slices of Parma ham, so like this, so the ham is laid that way, and then push it down to make the wells. Crack my eggs in. Like so. And I'm going to fold over the Parma ham. I'm going to grate my cheese on top. Okay, so here's what I've created. My Parma ham is under there, so hopefully that will get crispy. It will bake the eggs, the cheese will be nice and hot on top. Let's see what happens. So it's out of the oven. You might be able to hear it sizzling. Maybe. It looks good. I did have to bake it longer than the recipe said. The recipe said bake it for 10 minutes, but I had to bake it for 18 minutes because when I took it out after 10 minutes, the eggs were still raw. So I know you're dying to see what it looks like. Here we go. So here it is, a hot, cheesy pot of goodness. But let's see what the eggs look like. Knowing me, probably overcooked them. So they are buried in my Parma ham well. Classic me, I overcut the eggs. However, lucky for me, I'm not a big fan of a runny yolk. Oh my goodness, and then we've got all the tomato underneath. This looks so good. So I'm actually quite excited to get stuck into this. It's like boiling hot. I think I'm gonna have to wait for it to cool down, but yeah, worked really well. It literally took, as I said, like 20 minutes, maybe 25 minutes including prep, so not that long at all. And I had a look at the recipe and it did say that you can batch cook this, so you could just make a really big pot for the week, crack a few eggs in, and then just store it in the fridge. So it is good for batch cooking as well. I would try and taste test it on camera, but it's so hot, so hot. So I will give you an update on the taste when I see you for my afternoon snack. Verdict on lunch? demolished. It was actually really nice. That would be perfect for like a Sunday brunch when maybe it's a bit chilly outside and you want something a bit warm. I really actually enjoyed it. Obviously if you want runny eggs, then just cook it for a little bit less time. The parma ham on top, where I made the wells, the parma ham had gone crispy on top, but it wasn't crispy underneath. So if you're a crispy ham kind of person, then do it on the side. Just put some parma ham on a baking sheet and pop it in the oven for like 7 to 8 minutes. You'll get like crispy parma ham that you can put on top, but just shoving it all in the one dish also worked as well. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. I feel really satisfied, which is lovely. And I'm now going to head off to do my food shop. I need to pick up food for tonight, for dinner, and for the rest of the week as well. So I just do one food shop a week, just a big shop. So yeah, I will probably see you for my afternoon snack in a couple of hours. I am back from the supermarket, which seemed to just take me forever. Sorry, I'm being distracted by a really big squirrel in my garden. I'll show him to you. Can you see him? I think for squirrels, sorry. Anyway, snack time. It is now 2:30 and if I'm completely honest, I'm not that hungry, which, believe me, I never ever say. Both breakfast and lunch have really filled me up and kept me going all day. If I wasn't filming this video, I don't even know if I'd have a snack, but for the sake of the video, we're going to have a snack. So I'm going to have this berry milkshake. 15 grams of protein powder, which is great for post-workout, 60 grams of berries, and some kind of milk. Here it says almond milk, but I bought that coconut milk this morning, so I think I'm just going to add that and also a handful of ice. So I have got my blender. I'm going to add my ingredients. I'll blend it up and let's see if this looks like a berry milkshake. Okay, berry milkshake blended. I'm gonna say that is actually more like a smoothie than a milkshake. I might have to add a bit more liquid, but here we go. Blended it up. I guess that you didn't want to hear that. Just added some water to the bottom to loosen it up and get the last bits out. That's better. Give it a stir and a taste test. That is refreshing because I've definitely not drunk enough water today. If you have a sweet tooth in the afternoon, this would definitely fix that. Super quick, super easy snack. It's got protein in it, carbs and fats because I added the coconut milk, so this should keep me going for a little bit longer until my snack later on this afternoon. Nice and simple. I'm gonna drink this and go and do some work now because it's like 2:30 and I've still not done anything. And I also need to go and have a shower because I am still in my nasty, sweaty gym clothes. Otherwise, I'm gonna stop rambling, go and enjoy my berry milkshake, and I will see you guys later on. Back, I'm showered, and I feel fresher, but might not look fresher. I do apologise. But I'm ready for another snack. As nice as that berry smoothie milkshake thing was, that kind of stuff just never fills me up. So, what we're gonna have now is a savoury trail mix. And this makes 3 portions, which is great. Today's Friday, so which means I've got 3 snacks for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And that just kind of stops me grabbing more unhealthy snacks across the weekend when I prep something like this. In my last video, if you missed it, I made a savoury sort of like nut snacks. So I just picked up loads of nuts, put loads of herbs and spices on them and roasted them in the oven, and they were lovely. But this recipe calls for chickpeas. So we've got chickpeas, almonds, sunflower seeds, and then some spices. So I've got my chickpeas. I bought like, I think it was 12 from Costco for like £3, something stupid like that. So I've got my chickpeas. And I've also got this seed mix that I just get from Aldi. It's really good. I use it for my granola. So I'm just going to use some of these. And I've also got some mixed nuts, which we're resting on as my tripod. So the recipe calls for oil, salt, some cumin, which I've got in here, and also some cayenne pepper. So I've got my baking paper. I'm going to lay the chickpeas, the nuts, and the seeds out on the baking paper, mix them in the spices, and then pop them in the oven on 180 for 15 minutes. So whilst they're cooking in the oven, I'm going to quickly talk to you about dinner, and that is because we've reached that time of the year where it gets dark now at like 6 o'clock. So if I don't show you now, we'll be looking at the ingredients pretty much in the dark. So tonight we are having probably one of my favourite meals ever. It's like one of my go-to meals. I love ordering it on like holiday and I love making it at home. And that is a cheeky paella. So the ingredients we need are onion, pepper, garlic, smoked paprika, paella rice, stock, boiling water, some prawns, some peas, parsley and lemon. Now, disclaimer, I'm someone who just likes fast meals. I'm somebody who makes like one pot meals, stick it in the oven meals, 10-minute stir fries and things like that. It's a Friday evening and realistically I could not be bothered to start cooking paella rice. So just gonna let you know I did cheat, but here's what we've got. Sadly I've not got big fancy prawns like they've got on the picture. I just picked up these king prawns from Sainsbury's. And then for the rice, I'm sorry, I know I'm a letdown, but I just picked up a packet of microwave rice. So it says it's hot chili enhanced with smoky peppery heat, which adds fiery flavours. So I thought this would be great for my paella. So I'm literally just gonna add some peppers, some onions, some garlic, some peas to this, add some extra smoked paprika and cook that all up for a really quick Friday night paella. And I've also got some green beans that need using as well, so I think we're gonna have a side of green beans. Because that's what I will say about Joe Wicks' recipes, whether it is in like these plans or in the books, I just feel like there's never enough like veg to pad it out, and I do find that if I don't add that extra veg I would get hungry. So I'm going to be adding extra vegetables, in this case green beans, and yeah, we're just going to have a really lovely comforting big ricey paella. In the meantime, my savoury trail mix is in the oven, and in the next 15 minutes I will show you what it looks like. And I'm going to be honest, I'm so excited to eat it because I think it's one of my favourite snacks at the moment. My savoury trail mix is out of the oven and it looks and smells delicious. I'm so sad that this is 3 portions because I definitely want to eat all of it. Here it is. You can see the nuts and seeds are all sort of equally coated. Everything's got flavour. They are hot. You'll know when they're ready because the chickpeas start to sort of split. So yeah, I'm going to now divide this up into 3 portions and that will be my snack, which will keep me going until my paella this evening. After dinner I'm going to have some kind of dessert, and my go-to recently has just been a lovely cup of tea with some dark chocolate. So if I'm having a cup of tea in the evening before bed, I tend to opt for this decaf bedtime tea, and it's got vanilla and nutmeg in it. So this is a great decaf tea if I'm having it at like 8 o'clock with dessert before I go to bed. I do tend to go for a decaf. And in terms of chocolate, I am a dark chocolate gal. I do love like the 90–100% range. So I always have 1 or 2 squares of this Lindt 90% cocoa, and it is extreme dark and I just love it. I dip it in my tea and I lick it. I'm a licker. It's really dark, really low in sugar, and yeah, 2 pieces is enough because it is so rich. So that is probably what I'm going to have after dinner, a nice cup of tea and a couple of squares of 90% dark chocolate. I hope you enjoyed seeing some of the recipes from the Body Coach Graduate Cycle 5. I would say compared to Cycle 4, there wasn't as many recipes that I enjoyed, and I did find some of the recipes a bit samey compared to some of the other cycles, just being honest. So the recipes that I shared with you today were some of my favourites and some of the go-to recipes that I go back to now that I have finished the plan. I have finished the graduate plan, but you guys seem to really enjoy these videos, so I will also do a Cycle 6 review and review the whole plan and again share some recipes. So if that's something you would like to see, please give this video a thumbs up and comment down below so I know. I'll also leave the link to the graduate plan in case it's something you would like to try. Otherwise, that is it from me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video where I am taste testing foods I have never ever tried before. So keep an eye out for that. Otherwise, I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you in my next one.